Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear esteemed viewers, this year's Ramadan promised new and exciting programs on ASO Television that guide our services in collaboration with ASO Radio and Television Services. Present The Guide at Sahur. It's an ideal and balanced Islamic teaching with Dr. Mustapha Kannike. The Guide at Sahur, designed to make 2023 Ramadan a memorable one for all our Muslims faithful. The Guide at Sahur from 4:30 to 5 a.m. every day with Dr. Mustapha Kannike of the Department of Islamic Studies, Federal University of Lafia, Nasarawa State. The Guide at Sahur is showing on DSTV channel 392, Free TV channel 507, and on StarTime channel 127, or on all the Guide Da'awah services and also radio and television social media platforms. Please send your financial contribution to Taj Bank, account number 000-395-0637, account name The Guide Integrated Da'awah Service. Jazakumullahu khairan. For further information, please call +2348 108 521 916 or +2348 131 524 052. Ramadan Kareem.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Dear viewers, you are welcome once again to The Guide at Sahur, a program that is brought to you by The Guide Da'awah Services Abuja in collaboration with ASO Radio and Television Services Abuja. We welcome you. We appreciate that you are always with us. We want to believe that you are noting one or 2 points that the guide is trying to put across to the Muslim community. And we believe we are also noting 1 or 2 corrections as feedback that you may give us. For we believe that we are doing it together. You over there watching us, you are doing a lot for us, because it's through you that we know the areas that must be developed and that we must work on. We thank you. We want to assure you once again that all the outlets that you watch us, DSTV, Free TV, everything, they are there, and the social media pages, you can also watch us. That is why at the end of the program, when we send a question to you, you will definitely get it, because there are no questions that are for, And when you get the question, we expect you to inbox The Guide Da'wah Media on Facebook. When your question is okay, we get back to you with gift, and that gift will be yours and yours alone. So we welcome you once again. In a few moments after this segment, we shall be having a guest. The guest in the studio is a guest that you would like to meet. But before we go to the guest, let's look at what we have for ourselves today. What do leaders need to serve Islam? Leaders are leaders on mercies, but Allah is their leader. Allah has an assignment that He has given to the leaders, and this assignment is expected to be carried out well. So if they want to carry it out, they need the knowledge of Islam. And that is why the scholar believe that Al-Islam was Sultan Ikhwan. Leadership, Islam, they are brothers. They go together. La yaslih wahidun minhuma illa bi sahibihi. none of the two. Islam cannot move. Islam cannot be alone without leader. Trace the origin of Islam. Looking at Islam from the beginning, Islam has never been without leaders, without a leader at least. And leadership cannot succeed without Islam. Islam in this context may be the Islam we know as religion. In some places, it may be Islam in practice, but not in faith. You may see a person that has Islam in faith. He proclaims Islam is my religion, La ilaha illallah, and all of this. He observes Salat, but the attitude, the character is not Islam. And there are other people that they don't proclaim Islam as a religion that we have, but their attitude, their entire life, their relation with other people is Islam. So if you understand this, you will not misunderstand me when I say there can never be success in any community without Islam. They may not proclaim Islam, but they have Islam in their attitude if you see them progress. Al-Islam was-sultan ikhwan la yaslih wahidun minhuma illa bisahibihi. Islam and leadership, none of the two can succeed without the other. Islam cannot succeed without leaders. Islam needs leaders that will guide people to righteousness. Islam needs leaders that will uplift the understanding of people and that will encourage يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. The leaders who will always command people on righteous deeds. The leaders who will always forbid people from evil. And that is why leaders are expected to listen to their religious leaders. Leaders in administration, leaders in politics, leaders in offices, they are leaders. But when we get back to religion houses, they have leaders. They too should listen to them because they have a lot to offer them in terms of guidance. Leaders should listen to their religious leaders. Leaders should have time to reflect, because in some moments leadership intoxicates. If you have the power, if you have the authority, if you have the final say, you might be intoxicated and misbehave. And that is why it is important to have religious leaders who will guide you. Attend to the gathering where admonition will be given. Attend the gatherings where you will be reminded of the type of person you were before the authority was given to you. Because once you have the authority with you, you immediately forget all the life you've been living before that, all the claims, and you will even forget the way you've been condemning the leaders before it becomes your turn. It is only the gathering where religious leaders remind that you will go and reflect over all of this. It is important for political leaders, administrative leaders, to have among their, companions those who are very fast in religion, those they can listen to, that will tell them. Religious advisor is not too much for every leader. A leader must not be, when you have strategy, advisor for strategy, advisor on education, advisor on health, advisor on this, advisor on that. What about religious advisor? This is the area that we, provide you both the pleasure of Allah in this life and in the hereafter. What a lost life that you enjoy, and later at the end of it you suffer. That is why when Allah talks about hellfire in the Quran, Allah will end it in وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرُ. It is worse for somebody to have lived a life that is full of enjoyment, where you live, the car you use, your office, everywhere is full of luxury. That luxury can continue in the hereafter if you only allow yourself to be reminded by the religious leaders who are around you. So we must not separate religion and governance. Like some people say, look, we are talking of politics here, please don't bring religion here. If we condemn the scholars, if we advise the scholars who say that people must not vote because they want to practice Islam, they must not vote. We also need to tell the leaders after getting there, when they tell people, no, this is a politics, this is about politics, not about religion. But when you were coming in, you came in about religion. When you were coming in, you went to the mosque, some to the churches and all of this. You cannot get there and tell us this is political, it is not religious. Don't bring religion here. Where has religion gone to that you are saying it should not be brought? Religion is inherent in every part of our life. It is an irresponsibility of anybody, any government, any authority to say, please don't bring religion into this matter. Let religion be brought. Let's standardize it. If we have more than one religion, let every religion be brought, and let's have a standard that will show equality to everybody. But to say religion be removed is not a thing we can progress with. Therefore, today we are trying to establish the fact that governance and religion must go pari passu. No religion leader, no religious leader should ask us to forget about politics, and no political leader should tell us to forget about religion after getting there. So inshallah, I believe you are still with us, and I'm telling you, very soon our guest will join us. And after we've met our guest, I'm going to ask you the question of today. And as usual, if you send correct answer, your gift is awaited for by you. It is awaiting you. So please, brothers and sisters, let's meet our guest soon. While we are waiting, thank you for now. بسم الله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على المصطفى وعلى آله وأصحابه آل الوفا. Dear viewers, you are welcome back to the second segment of the guide at Sahur. This is where we normally have guests for you, and I told you earlier on that you always like to meet our guest of today. Our guest today is not new at the guide at Sahur. You must have met him before, but you are meeting him again today in bigger form. He is a lawyer, he is an imam, He is an erudite scholar in our society. He is Barrister Imam AbdulKadir Abdullah Abdulhamid Al-Malawi. He's here with us. He is the Secretary, Office of the Amir, Islamic Brotherhood of Nigeria, and in different fora he gives guidance in terms of admonition and otherwise. We are glad to have him in the studio, and I'm sure you'll be glad to meet him. Ya Imam, please say taslim to our viewers.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Without wasting time, because today we want to discuss a very, very integral part of Islam. A pillar of Islam, a pillar that not everybody, of course, that will be able to engage in that pillar of Islam. Unlike Tawheed, that the day you are giving birth to, you will be taught Tawheed and you must abide by it. Once you are 6 years old, you start observing Salat, and by age 10, you must have perfected your performance of Salat. All of that. Zakat. It seems not everybody pays zakat, and everybody claims to be Muslim. Yeah, Imam, what is zakat, and why is it that many of us don't pay it?
Once again, thank you for having me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has enjoined us through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who brought us the message of Islam, that as part of the pillars of Islam, zakat is also part of it. When we talk about believing in Allah and His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we talk about prayer. When we talk about going on Hajj, another pillar to strengthen your faith in Islam is that of zakat. Now, zakat is simply, in Islam, in the Sharia, is bringing out a portion of your wealth. I will emphasize wealth. Bringing out a portion of your wealth and giving it out to the needy for their consumption, for their use. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made us, even though we are all human beings, but He then made some of us above others. For
in darajat, mashallah.
Having put some of us upon the others, He has also enjoined that those who have should give the have-nots. Now, where zakat sets in through the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you must have a certain amount of your wealth. It might not necessarily be money. It might, like I said earlier on, I would lay emphasis on your wealth. Now, that wealth, you must have that wealth, and that wealth will have gone through what is called hawl. That means it must have been with you for another year. Now, what is enjoined is that to fortify it, to purify that wealth you have, Allah says, give it to the needy in the society. That way, wealth would spread. That way, those who are the have-nots in the society will have a sense of belonging. That way, the economy, in fact, will grow. Now, another advantage, one who has that wealth and is enjoying to give out of that wealth, is that whatever it is, we are all not perfect. You might have one way or the other, you might have some inadequacies. That zakat you bring out of your wealth would cleanse whatever inadequacies you have as far as your wealth is concerned. For a Muslim who has, you are enjoined to give a portion out of your zakat. Today, zakat has what is called nisab. Nisab in the sense that it must have reached a certain quantity or a certain amount, which of course usually changes. It changes actually. So what might be your zakat last year, if you are the one that Allah has blessed and you are enjoined to give out of your zakat, may not necessarily be what it will be the amount of what you bring out of your zakat this year. So it changes at time as time goes on. But the primary part of it is that it is obligatory. But very few understands that it is obligatory. It is part of the faith, that what will make your faith accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So among the people who do not give zakat are those who do not understand how obligatory it is. And I can pick it from the beginning that you said that if you don't have, you are not obliged to pay zakat. So that's why some people when they say giver never lack. You see people who also say lacker never give. As in somebody that lack the commodity, the money, the wealth, cannot give zakat. So even if you love to give, you still need to work harder to acquire the wealth. Then a year later you give zakat. What are the types of zakats that we have?
Okay, thank you once again. Zakats under the Sharia are primarily of two types. There's the zakat, the one we just explained, which of course only applies to certain people, just as you rightly said. It might not apply to everyone. It will apply to those who are the haves. It might not apply to the have-nots.
Okay.
This is why a certain quantity or certain amounts and conditions are even attached to it. Now, that is the zakat. And usually, that first one we explained is usually any time of the year, provided it has taken over a year in your possession. You are expected to give out your zakat. So it is any time of.
So if it has not stayed with you in your possession for a year, you don't give out.
Well, there's actually certain conditions that applies to that, but primarily it must have been in your possession
for 1 year.
Yes, for 1 year.
Okay.
Usually, for instance, if it is money, it's not usually the one you use. You debit, you credit, you debit. No, not that. You are expected to give out of that your zakat.
Cool.
The other one is the one that is called zakatul fitr. Now, for this particular one, it is not just any time of the year. This particular one is expected to be given during the month of Ramadan. In fact, even the month of Ramadan too. A particular time in the month of Ramadan, usually the last 10 days of Ramadan, which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, told us that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shaddul mi'zar, which means the Prophet does additional part of ibadah when it comes to the last 10. So perhaps that's the wisdom why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has enjoined that zakat al-fitr should be at the 10th part of it. Now, apart from the time for zakat al-fitr, which is primarily during Ramadan and usually the end of Ramadan, it is not like the other zakat. This other zakat has to do with giving out of food. That other one, we mentioned the fact that it has to do with your wealth. It could be a monetary aspect. In fact, the other one could be gold. It could be some other thing in your possession. But this particular one has to do with food. And that food usually will be the staple food of the society we live in. For instance, the society we are in now, we know rice is predominant. So zakatul fitr will be, because rice is food, so zakatul fitr is expected to be given out food. Like the other one too, it has a quantum, it has a particular quantity that should be given out. Now, in case of zakatul fitr, what you are expected to give out is, if you have the opportunity in your society, try as much as possible. First, I do ahl dhikr, try as much as possible to ask the people of knowledge, the scholars around you, so that you don't do more than what you are expected, you don't do below expectation. So there's what is called Rub al-Nabi, which is Sahur during the lifetime of Prophet ﷺ. Now, for every family, say for instance you are head of the family, you have a wife, you have children, in fact even beyond your children, those who are also Muslims, who are your maids, those who are under your custody, you are to get zakat al-fitr out of them. How you do it is that per every head, zakat al-fitr is to be given per every head in that family. The head of the family, his wife, the children, so zakat al-fitr is to be given. And who are they to be given to? Again, Islam also enjoins us to give those who are in need, the needy in the society. And usually the Prophet ﷺ delays it till the tail end of Ramadan. Now, he also said, let me emphasize that the Prophet said it to be done maybe starting from 28th, 29th, and even before the Salat al-Eid, the Fitr, the prayer
on the 8th day.
On the 8th day, so that you do it before Salat. If, however, you delay it after Salat, the Prophet said it will be considered as sadaqah, as if you give charity, but it will not be considered
as zakat al-fitr.
Zakat al-fitr, of course, the essence, the benefit is also to cleanse whatever inadequacies we have during Ramadan. We are not perfect. One way or the other, you have one or two things you have missed out during Ramadan. If you give zakat al-fitr on your behalf, on behalf of your wife, your family, and every other person, Allah will perfect your fasting for you. May Allah accept our fasting.
MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We got what we expected, and the Imam has even given us more. We thank you, Ya Imam. May Allah reward you abundantly. Zakat al-Fitr is the end of the discussion. We started from Zakat as a whole, and I believe everybody knows that this is a period where we prepare the Zakat al-Fitr. Let us make sure we do it. Let's give it out so that the reward of our Ramadan can be complete, and so that we emulate the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Today is another day, and we've had it like this. Before we go, let me remind you that you can send your answer to the inbox of the guy Da'wah Media on Facebook, and the question you are to send to us today is to identify the categories of people that the Quran recognized to receive zakat. Identify the categories of people that the Quran recognized to receive zakat. So give us the verse of the Quran that states this, and give us the translation. And inshallah, before we meet again tomorrow, I want to thank our supporters, those who provide all that we give people. The gifts are essential, and if not that you people give, we might not be able to spread it to our attendants, those that are with us always. We thank everybody, we thank our participants, and we thank you for watching and being with us always. At this moment, we say thank you and Ramadan Kareem till we meet again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.